Okay, I'm just here because um, I've been locked for a year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've had my locks for a year. I'm here now. And I've gotten to a place where I just feel like, yeah, I have locks. Yeah, I've had them for a few months. Oh, well, a year. Like, I have gotten stopped by two people and they've asked me about my locks. And I'm like, you know that they're locks and not just twists? Like, it's literally gotten to that point where I'm just like, yeah, I have locks. Like, it's crazy. Do I miss my loose natural hair? Sometimes. Sometimes. Hello, hello. Editing version of me here. Um, did not put a transition in between that previous clip and the clip you're about to see. So embarrassed about it. So sorry. Um, transition. I'm here because I wanted to film my 1 year lock anniversary. Um, Welcome to this video. My name is Zanala. You can call me Zan or Zanala, either one. And I'm here because I wanted to record a video about my journey to being 1 year locked and my experience with locking my hair and, just the whole process, just the whole journey. So, as I said, this is a year. I'm looking at my hair, so sorry I'm not looking at the camera. But this is me after a year. My computer quality is not the best, so I'll put like a clip of my hair with my phone so you can see a little bit better the texture and everything. But yeah, this is a year locked. When I tell you I did not think I would get here, I think I knew in my mind that like locks were always something I was going to do. Everybody in my family, or it feels like every woman in my family, has had locks at one point in their life or another. And I've always thought that they were beautiful and really cool and exciting and creative. But I I've always had natural hair, so like I never went through the experience of having my hair relaxed, though my sister did, so I kind of got to get a glimpse of what that was like through her own experience. But I've always had like loose natural hair. Um, but I usually relied heavily on like protective hairstyles. So like I was a braids girl, I was a twist girl. You could catch me doing any type of style, Senegalese twists. I did yarn twists. Um, I did all the braids, Marley twists. Like they were just, I really loved them, and I feel like getting to experience self expression through my hair with different colors and different styles was really helpful for me in then getting to the place where I felt comfortable locking my hair. Because even as much as people say, getting locks is like, oh, you can still do everything that everybody else can do, it is like it's a permanent look. Obviously, you can do different styles, um, but it's a look. Like it's your hair is in a very specific state, and unless you comb it out or cut it off, like it's not the same. So I think getting to experiment with my hair when I was younger and in high school and middle school and things like that was really helpful. And I'm now in my third year of university, and I locked my hair in the second semester of my second year. So I was 19 and I'm now 20. So yeah, I think all of that led up to me locking my hair, but I'll just talk a little bit about why I decided to do it. I've always had an interesting relationship with my hair. I think that while I love my loose natural hair, I haven't always been the most comfortable with it. I think that a lot of the time I only really felt beautiful, and I really only ever saw value in my hair when it was styled, and styled to a point where like you could see curls, like curl definition, or like a twist out pattern, a braid out pattern, when it was big and thick and fluffy and soft, and when it was longer, or if it was styled in braids, twists, something like that, you know. My hair had to be done, and that was hard as a kid growing up, especially as a black girl. Like, you know, there was never an opportunity to just roll out of bed and feel beautiful with like the natural hair on my head without feeling the need to do something about it. And it didn't feel like the healthiest relationship. You know, I was constantly trimming my ends when they didn't need to be because I was like, oh, I don't like the way my hair looks at the end, when that was just like how it naturally looks because of its pattern. I have like 4B hair, I would say. It's like maybe a little bit of 4C towards the center, but mostly 4B. And I just could not, I could not get to a point of appreciating it the way it was. And it became unhealthy. Like, I would just always be doing my hair if it was out and loose. Like, if it was in a protective hairstyle, then, you know, I was fine. I felt cute. But I needed that to feel cute. And I didn't like feeling that way about my hair or about myself. I wanted to be able to feel really comfortable with my natural hair and to feel like, oop, I'm that girl, you know, regardless. And I also wanted to feel comfortable with the idea of it not getting to a certain length and things like that, not getting to a certain thickness. Because I know in the natural hair community, we're always talking about self-acceptance, self-love, blah, blah, blah. But like, we're always trying to get natural, longer hair, thicker hair, all of these things, you know, curl definition. And that's all great, but it's like, I don't know. I just did not see a lot of representation out there for the thin-haired girls, for the short hair that wasn't growing every year or didn't feel like it was growing every year. And there wasn't a lot of discussion on like when it's okay to be okay with that and like be comfortable with the idea of your hair being the way it is right now for the rest of your life, in terms of like that natural quality of thickness and length and things like that, and not like hating yourself for it. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if I'm explaining that right or explaining that clearly, but that was a huge thing for me. So when I thought about getting locks, I mean, I looked at a lot of videos about the process, and I knew that your hair shrunk up, and I knew that it got thick, but I also looked at a lot of people who naturally have thinner or lower density hair in their locks, and like the way that they got more comfortable with having less hair on their head and their locks not being super thick, but still feeling really good about themselves and beautiful. And I really, really liked the idea of, you know, kind of having to just sit with my hair for the rest of my life and love her for everything that she is and for all the things that she isn't. And so, yeah, I guess I just, from there on, I kind of knew I was going to lock my hair. And my sister is a loctician, so she helped me. She twisted them all up, and I got started. So, yeah, the first week of having my hair locked, it was not great. I was super, super, super self-deprecating, super mean to myself, extremely insecure. And that was actually maybe like the first 2 weeks. I'll insert pictures of how my hair looked if I haven't already done so. But yeah, they were like very thin twists. I didn't have a lot. I think I have like 58 twists on my head, or locks now. But yeah, 58 twists back then, and locks now. And I hated them so much. I was just like, I definitely had a very clear idea of the type of hair that I wanted. I was not thinking about density and things like that. I was just like, I want these girls' locks. That's another thing I will say. Just because you get locks, it doesn't mean that all of your insecurities that you had with your loose natural hair or whatever hair you have on your head at that point disappears. And I think that the lock community, like, it's funny because, like, there's a lot of critiques from the lock community about the natural hair community and about other hair communities. Um, but the lock community has its own problems. And there's definitely also a hierarchy of what type of hair is loved on, what types of locks are loved on, posted, shared. Um, I think that, we don't escape any of the critiques that we have for other hair communities. And so for me, like going on all of those lock Instagrams, it was the manicured, but like thick, full, healthy locks that were posted, and everybody was like, and long locks that were posted, and everybody was like, oh my God, like, girl, they were the ones that got all the love. And then, like, even with freeform locks, if it was freeform, then it was like the locks that still had like a curl pattern to it that showed, or freeform that, like, it wasn't freeform like 4C hair, and you can tell a difference between freeform locks that are on 3C and like 4A versus 4C. They look different. The texture's different. And there was a different level of appreciation, and there's also beauty standards that sink in there because, depending on where you lie on the, European beauty standard spectrum, we saw who was getting love and who wasn't. So there's a lot of critiques I could have for the lock community, as well as with any other community. We're not exempt, which is the point. So it was naive of me to think that those insecurities were going to just fall away once I got my hair locked. But I had to learn, and I did. So I made a Pinterest. I started following all of these Instagrams. I just got really, really, really invested in locks. And I literally, I will tell you, at one point, my entire Instagram was just locks. Like, you would scroll on my feed, lock, 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 lock. That's all it was. It was so ridiculous. It was probably a little bit unhealthy, like, because it wasn't like I had all these locks out of, like, appreciation. I mean, I did. I loved them. I thought they were beautiful, and I wanted to see it. But it was also a comparison game, I was like, oh, okay, I hope my hair ends up like hers. Or I would look at girls who who had just locked. So they were, like, in their, what's it called? Starter locks phase. And I was like, oh, mine doesn't look like that. Comparing texture, once again, texturism is a whole thing. Self-hate when it comes to texturism is a whole thing. I would compare thickness, I would compare length, I would compare how fast the hair is locking, the way it's locking. I have flat locks all over my head, everywhere. Like, every single lock, I'm pretty sure, has a portion of it that's flat, and I'm pretty sure that my hair is going to be mostly flat locks rather than the round cylinder locks. So I was comparing on that level. I was comparing everything, and it was not healthy. And part of the problem was that there was not a lot of starter locks that looked like mine, with hair texture that was like mine. It was a lot of 4A, 3C girls. Or if it was 4B girls, like thick hair 4B girls. And I appreciate and I love y'all, but it's like, we need to see the low density girls representation because we're here. And it's totally it's a huge insecurity, and I don't know why it's not spoken about enough, but that was like a big thing for me with my locks. I was so scared that my locks were going to turn out stringy and like thin, and that I wouldn't be beautiful because of that. So, all of those other insecurities totally seep in, and it was something I had to confront in myself. And when I was watching a lot of other people's starter lock videos, like, I know that I'm going to post some YouTubers who I was watching like on the daily. Because Des Ren, I think that's her name on YouTube, love her videos. I was watching hers like all the time. She restarted her locks 3 times and then she combed them out, and now she's on her cute natural hair journey again. But yeah, I was watching her videos. I was watching a lot of different people's videos. I was watching, I think her name is like Lynn. I am Linda Elaine. Love her videos, was watching hers all the time. And they all said it, and I'll say it to you now if you're watching and you're just starting your hair journey, your lock natural Loc'd Journey. I keep saying natural because I'm thinking about natural hair, but your Loc'd Journey. Comparison is the thief of joy. We've all heard that before, and it's absolutely true. You can't compare. And really, I know that we say we do it out of appreciation, but don't follow those lock accounts. Don't follow those lock accounts with hair that don't look like yours, with, unreachable expectations. It's just like it's unattainable and it won't make you feel good. And even if it is out of appreciation, we all experience jealousy. We all experience insecurity, and there's no reason to trigger yourself. There's no reason to trigger yourself. You should be doing things that make you feel confident and excited about your journey. Follow people who make you feel confident and excited about your journey. And there's no shame in realizing that there are some people whose hair is just not going to do that for you because it's going to trigger some enviousness and insecurities in yourself. Like, it's natural, but we want to avoid that because, there's no reason to make yourself feel bad. And the starter lock phase is a long phase. I only just started feeling really comfortable with my hair. And it took a year almost, So I just say do all you can to make sure that you're super comfortable. And that you're loving on yourself, because self-love is going to be very important in those first, I would say like 6-7 months. And that's not to discourage you, because I had a lot of great weeks, and even some great months. Even during the pandemic, nobody really got to see my hair, which was kind of nice because I got to spend some time alone and like self-reflecting and just, charting my own journey, but not really having to focus on what anybody else would be thinking about my hair. But yeah, I would say self-love is going to be really important during those few beginning months, and you want to make sure that you're creating the best environment for yourself, watching people who motivate you, taking advice that is motivating and encouraging. So I'll say that when I did start to get comfortable with my hair is when I felt, good about experimenting with hairstyles. The first time I did Bantu knots, and then I did a Bantu knot out, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me anything. I felt so cute. I'll post pictures. I have several. I have a lot. It's my favorite style to this day. I cannot wait to do it as my hair gets more like fully formed in the lockness, because I feel like it might be able to hold a little bit better, and just I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. But yeah, the first time I tried to do Bantu knots, and I did, the first time I did them, I felt so cute. It was a nice little nod at like my previous life as a natural hair girl, loose natural hair girl, because I always loved Bantu knots. It made me feel cute, and it affirmed that whole you can still do every other style that you did when you were natural thing. Because for a while there I was like, y'all are liars, I can't do anything with my hair. I remember I tried to do twists over my hair in like July for my birthday because I was really insecure about my locks, and I was like, I don't want people to see me like this. So I tried to do twists over it. It didn't work, so by then I was like, everybody's a liar. You can't do anything with this hair. Like, I was ready to, I wasn't going to cut it off. I was going to comb it out, because at that point it was not locked the way it is now. But yeah, I would say try experimenting as early as you can without like undoing the twist, or potentially making it harder for your hair to lock. Like if you have, I started with twists, as you know, but if you have, what's it called, comb coils, maybe be a little bit, slower on the experimenting, just because I know they're a little bit more fragile in terms of unraveling. But like, yeah, be adventurous during your first year. Do those styles, even if you feel like, oh, it's not going to look cute on me. And they can be the simplest things. Like, I did a lot of, like, the little space buns. I'm trying to do it now, but I can't. I did a lot of space buns. I did a lot of, like, pigtails. I did one of these, like these. I loved it. When I started experimenting with my hair and I saw how dynamic it could be and complex it could be and exciting, that's when I got excited about my locks, because I was like, oh, it's not just going to be like these twists on my head, because they still look like twists for a while. And they still, like this one, obviously you can't see here, but This one still looks like twists, and you'll see a picture. That's because I untwisted it because I was done. During my first 2 weeks, I was like, it's not like the right size or whatever, and then I just twisted it right back up. But it's still taking forever to lock at this point because I'm not a loctician. I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah. But yeah, experimenting was the best thing I could have ever done. It was something that helped me gain confidence. That's not to say that people didn't say things, because I got a lot of comments that I was kind of like, okay. But first of all, you're going to need to learn to shut them out. Though I'm sure if you're a black woman and you're watching this, you already know how. You are used to the comments, I'm sure. We already get unwarranted comments on our hair all the time. Nobody asked for it, but we get it all the time. So I'm not sure if you'll need to really adjust to that. But you might have to adjust to the different feeling of insecurity, because it's a different insecurity to be insecure about your locks compared to your loose natural hair. Especially because while locks are very popular and like plenty of people have them, it's not like some rare community. It is a little bit, I guess, I live in Canada, and it's not as, like, I don't see a whole lot of black people, black women, and especially like young black women my age, I'm 20, with locks, so that might be a thing. You know, if you don't see people who look like you, then it's a little bit harder to feel valid and secure in your own appearance sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole thing about representation. So yeah, wow, it's already 19 minutes. That was a whole thing for me. But yeah, experimenting was amazing. I'm going to put in some styles that I really loved. And let me just say, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7 of Bantu knot outs, the way I would wear those curls out until it was my final straw, like until there was one that was straight and there was one that was curly and there was one that was, like, it didn't matter, I was wearing it. And it was cute. And it's just like, it just builds your confidence up, and I so recommend. Try everything. Try it all. They're not all going to work because some styles require that like density and that like firmness that the locks that you'll have when they get mature have. So some might not work out that great, but in the end they will. Twist outs, super cute. Braid outs, I don't know if I've ever done a braid out yet, but I'm sure I will, and it'll be cute. I want to do like the honeycombs and things like that. Like, I want to try it all, and you should too. I don't think there's any reason to, you know, hold back. And in terms of dyeing, I kind of want to dye my hair. I kind of want to dye it. First, I want to do blonde, I want to do orange, I want to do green, I want to do blue, but I'm not going to. And let me tell you why. I have the type of hair where she is sensitive and she is fragile. And I'm not saying this like as like an insecurity thing, like she is. So I'm not pushing it. I did this with my hair because I needed to protect her and, you know, keep her on my head. So I'm not gonna push it. I'm gonna try with the hair wax and things like that, but I don't think I'll ever actually dye my hair, sadly. If I want to, I'll just like wrap Marley hair around it and say that it's a new color, you know? But I'm not dyeing it because I just know that I'm not willing to risk it. That's not to say I don't think you should, though. Girl, it's your hair. First of all, it'll grow back. If it's bad, it'll grow back if you cut it off. It will. And yeah, I don't think you should let anything stop you. I'm just saying I won't because, first of all, my sister's already lectured me about it, and I'm just like, okay, fine. But also, I just, like, I know my hair, and even when it was loose, it was, like, very, you know, so it wouldn't be the best choice for me. But I say do what you want. Go for those colors. I've watched several people with locks dye their hair, and it's beautiful, it looks healthy, it looks great to me, okay? Don't let anybody, like, guard you in your own journey. That's another thing. There's, like, a lot of, like, controlling within the lock community and, like, unwarranted commentary from people who have locks for, like, 9 years, and they're like, why did you dye your hair? Girl, it's your hair. Do what you want. Oh, that's another YouTuber I like. Day? I'm gonna find all their names. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just rambling at this point, but I'm just talking about things about locks that I really love, and yeah, so I've always wanted to dye my hair, but I'm not sure I'm gonna do that. But I do want to try like the lock wax and see how that works. My hair is like black, so I don't know if it's actually gonna show up, and I'm a little bit scared about buildup. But I haven't had. Let me tell you, okay, during my first few months, I was putting too much product in my hair. I was not listening. I wasn't listening. I know people were like, that's like the main thing they tell you. They're like, don't put too much product. You don't need that much product. I didn't listen. And the reason why, and I'll tell you why, is because I was feeling my hair and it was feeling dry. And I was like, excuse me, it's giving brittle, it's giving about to break off. So I was like, I don't know about this. I'm going to need to put some oils and conditioners. But that was a mistake. So I stopped. But I had buildup for a little bit, I'll tell you. And I'm going to insert pictures because I think I took some where, and that's when I realized first that I was having flat locks and that I had buildup. And I was like, but it's okay because I did an ACV rinse and it came out. So we're good. But yeah, just listen to them when they say don't put too much product in your hair. You really don't need it. Locks are going to feel different. They're not going to feel the same as your loose natural hair. It's not going to be as soft. So just like get that out of your mind and don't try to achieve that when you're moisturizing your hair because it's just not going to be like that anymore. It is a bit dry. I mean, that's just kind of what it is, which doesn't mean it's unhealthy. I think you should really feel for your roots. If you're tugging on your hair and it hurts, you might need to either get like more protein or drink more water or do a little bit more moisturizing. If you hear snapping and breaking, maybe you need to do some more moisturizing and things like that. But, you know, it's just not going to be like, oh, baby soft, you know? So don't try to go for that. And there's nothing wrong if your hair doesn't feel that way. What else? I also, oh yeah, my flat locks. So having flat locks, I was very insecure about them, okay? Because there's not a lot of people also. I don't see the representation on YouTube for the flat lock girls. I don't see the community representation. So I was like, girl, what am I supposed to do with these? I was trying to roll them into a cylinder, but they're gone. They're flat forever. And that's okay because now I'm like, they're going to be dynamic, they're going to be cute. But I just want to show you because I'm not playing when I say I have flat locks. Like, girl, I don't know if y'all can, because I literally have the worst camera ever. So it's giving, but can you see that? It's just a bit crazy. It's a bit, I'll take pictures because I'm not doing it justice, but like, hopefully you kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about. I have flat locks. So if you are one of those girls and you're like, my hair is flat, me too. We're going to be fine. We're going to be absolutely fine. And they're beautiful. But that's the thing. Everybody in the natural hair lock community is like, make sure you don't get flat locks. Don't sleep on your locks when they're wet at night so you don't get flat locks. There's nothing wrong with flat locks. They're fine. They're gorgeous. Love them. I'm going to find a picture of that girl with flat locks who I really love. It's just normal, okay? Everybody's hair is different. It doesn't need to be a cylinder. Ooh, that's another thing. So I went through different phases. I wanted to at first have like not manicured locks, but I was like, I want my hair to be like, you know, I still want to have a little twist up every now and then. But then like around month 3 after, so the first time I got my hair like, what's it called? Retwist. The first time I got a retwist, my sister interlocked it. So when she did that, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was like, never again. So, and that's why like it's a little bit like I have a very small part here and like where you can see clearly where it's a twist and where it's actually just a lock, because that's like where it was interlocked. I was like, I don't like that. So then after that, I decided, and I was scared about my hair being thin. So I decided that I was going to freeform for a while. But I thought I was going to do it permanently, but I only freeformed for a little bit. But I thought I was going to be freeform, so I didn't retwist my hair for like 3 months. Like I would play with it and I would retwist it, but then I would just undo it. So I don't know if that counts. Maybe semi-freeform is what you would say. But yeah, I was not retwisting my hair, and I actually think that that was a good idea for me, but that's how I got flat locks, I think. Both from sleeping on it when it was wet because I didn't have hair, and from not retwisting. And But I think it was the better choice because it made my hair, it gave it a break. There was not a lot of tension on my scalp. It allowed it to get some thick gums, um, and I don't regret it. And I think that, you know, probably a lot of people go through the experience of like going back and forth between wanting manicured locks or wanting semi-freeform or freeform or wanting smaller locks or big, thicker locks. You know, it really depends. And as your hair changes and you see it develop, you kind of see what kind of locks you like and what you don't. Um, and I think people say to start off smaller so that you can combine. Um, but I didn't, but I feel like, see, this is again the density privilege, the hair privilege, because not all of us have a lot of hair on our head to be starting off with small locks. Like, anyways, um, I just did whatever I had on my head, which is this. This is what I was capable of doing. Um, but yeah, I feel like for me, the locks you have on your hair, the locks you have on your head, are gonna look perfect for you because it's yours, and it's your face, and it's your look. It's gonna look like it's gonna look like your thing. And I feel like you just have to let that sit in. You just have to let it develop and grow. Like I was super, super insecure, super trying to like see what it was gonna be like when I was in my early months because I was like, ew, like I hate this and it's not cute. And low key, it wasn't that cute. Like, let's not lie. It wasn't the cutest. And you know another thing? You know, you have to have supportive people around you. Because the way my dad, as of recently, has been clowning my starter locks, but in the beginning, he was talking about how he liked my starter locks. You need supportive people around you because, you know, your family and your friends are going to be the ones to reassure you. So, that's a whole thing. But yeah, they weren't that cute. But it's okay. It doesn't need to be super cute. That's another thing. Black girls don't always need to have it together, though we do naturally. Blueprint things. But anyways, the point is that you need to feel comfortable with every stage that you're at. And you need to allow yourself to just kind of sit in those stages. Because I remember I had a few cute days during my early starter lock days, and I was looking at myself like, there were times when my hair, like, I would look at it now and I'd be like, but when I tell you I took those videos because I was feeling myself that day, and I'll insert those. Because there were times when I was like, girl, like, you can't tell me anything. And it's also another thing to be able to wear your hair down and feel comfortable. Because when I had my loose natural hair and I would wear my hair out, like it had to be in a twist out. I had never, ever, ever worn my hair out in an afro um, without a curl pattern added onto it or something. Which is not, like, that's not cool. Like, I wish I felt confident enough to do that, but with my insecurities about my density and my length and my ends, I just didn't feel, you know, very secure. So I never got the chance to do that. But like, one thing I'm really happy that I did is that I wore my hair out. I didn't always wear it in a bun or like with a hat or whatever on during my early starter lock days. And I think that helped with getting comfortable with, you know, this is how my hair is. And if you have a problem with it, then square up. That's me talking to myself because I was my biggest critic. But yeah, it just helped, you know, normalize you're a cute girl and your hair is cute and there's nothing wrong with it and there's nothing to be insecure about. And you need to do that. You need to constantly be intentional about about your hair and how you look at yourself, how you perceive it. This is going to be such a long video. Yeah, anyways, I might upload a part 2 because this is getting long. And who's editing all that? Who's editing it? Not me. Anyways, so I guess the last few things I just want to say is just that, yeah, you need to love on yourself. Do not post your hair if you want to post your hair, or if you don't want to, don't. If people ask, what do you do with your hair? And you don't want to answer, don't. Literally, black girls are allowed to be rude. Black girls are allowed to be mysterious. Black girls are allowed to have their little secrets, their little privacy. If you don't want to say nothing about your hair, don't say it. But if you do, and if you do want to be like, these are locks, when people are like, oh, you have twists, these are locks, say it. Just like have all the audacity, have all the self-confidence, have all the self-love, because you are going to need it. This is not an easy journey, and I feel like that goes for anything. when it comes to Black women and our hair. It's never easy. And self-love is not something that always comes naturally to people, and that's totally okay. Considering the racist, white supremacist system we live under, makes sense. So yeah, I just want to say that I think I'm going to make another video getting more into detail and just like rambling and talking about different hairstyles and experiences I've had so far. But I just wanted to make this general video just saying, here I am at 1 year, very excited. And I'm so sorry it's so long. But if you watch it the whole way through, awesome. If you just watch some parts, awesome. Yeah, just very happy to be a part of this community. Very happy to be in bond and connection with other Black women. And obviously there are other, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just close it off to Black women, but I just think about Black women and I love them, so I'm just like, ah. But everybody, there's a lot of Black people with natural hair. There's Black men with natural hair. There's Black non-binary folks with locked hair, not natural, but it is natural. There's so many words, and my brain's not working. It's a Wednesday night. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to come here and say I'm 1 year locked, and I'm adding a little video into the Loc'd universe on YouTube because all of y'all's videos helped me so much and made me feel so good and confident and excited about my journey, and so felt like it was only right to give back. Yeah, I hope that everybody is having a great day, having a great life, having a great night, and if you have any questions or you just want if you want to see more videos like these, let me know, and I will very much so try to do that, and yeah. Bye!